Our country is going to be based on merit again. Can you believe it?
Want to know how Oliver roasted Trump? Keep watching. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Did you hear about Trump's latest move? He's trying to erase trans people from federal policy. Yep, you heard that right. No more gender-affirming care for kids if Trump gets his way. Now back to the video. Alright folks, buckle up because Grumpy Trumpy is at it again. Our favorite orange turd has decided to make life even harder for transgender people.
Unidentified outside staffers arrived to sweep the office of anything they felt was related to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
But John Oliver's not letting this slide. He's got the facts, the jokes, and a whole lot of British sass to take on the Orange Menace.
Which included a plaque confiscated from a supervisor's desk, which read, "Be kind to everyone."
Can you believe it? He's gone and signed an executive order saying the government only recognizes two sexes.
Race rates, with Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, taking Dr. Phil for some reason on a ride-along around Chicago, and perhaps the single worst version of carpool karaoke ever made.
I guess in Trump's world, it's just Adam and Eve. No room for Steve, who might want to be Eve.
So what we've got to do is just hit, and keep it. It's momentum. The opposition party is the media. And the media can only, because they're dumb and they're lazy.
But wait, there's more. Donnie Diapers isn't stopping there. He's also trying to ban federal funding for gender-affirming care for kids. It's calling Trump out for his active cruelty towards trans people. It's like Trump woke up one day and thought, you know what? I haven't been awful enough lately. It's like he's playing a game of how many people can I upset in one go? And let me tell you, he's winning that game hands down. Now, our boy John Oliver isn't one to sit back and watch this circus unfold. Oh no, they're part of a bigger, more sinister plan. Trump's trying to dismantle the federal government from within. Let's pick on some of the most vulnerable people in society, and Oliver's not having any of it. But here's the kicker. Oliver's pointing out that these moves aren't just random acts of meanness. It's like he's playing a game of Jenga with our democracy, pulling out pieces and seeing how long it takes for the whole thing to come crashing down.
The most private, sensitive data about an American isn't their bank account information, it is their Google search history. Although, having said that, I am pretty sure that most American search history over this last month was a mix of what the fuck is happening, and there have been claims and counterclaims of whether Elias had read-only access or the ability to actually change data, but either way, it is alarming he had access in any form, especially given what's inside that database.
Not just who I am, where I live.
And Oliver's got the receipts to prove it. He's showing how Trump's team is trying to traumatize bureaucrats and shut down agencies.
I file my taxes electronically. Does that put me inside this database, the Bureau?
It sure does. And your bank account information, that's how you get your refund electronically.
It's like they're treating the government like a haunted house, trying to scare everyone out so they can turn it into a Trump-themed casino or something. Now, Oliver's got a way with words, and he's not holding back. He's comparing Trump's actions to a straight-to-streaming vehicle starring Steven Seagal. Musk's been appointed to lead something called the Department of Government Efficiency. Sounds like a snooze fest, right? Turns out a lot. Our pal John Oliver's been digging into this mess, and boy, has he struck gold. Wrong. It's more like a wrecking ball aimed at federal workers. Now, you might be thinking, hey, isn't Elon supposed to be some kind of genius? We're talking about aides as young as 20, running around the government like they're on a scavenger hunt, asking federal employees to justify their existence. Well, apparently his idea of efficiency is to surround himself with a bunch of kids who look like they just graduated from frat party. Real classy, right? And get this big balls guy was fired from an internship for leaking secrets. Talk about a fun work environment, huh? But wait, it gets better. One of Musk's star players, a guy named Edward Carine, likes to call himself Big Balls on social media. Sounds like just the kind of person you want messing around with sensitive government stuff. Speaking of sensitive stuff, Oliver's uncovered that Musk's team of whiz kids has been given access to some pretty juicy government data. In fact, the Treasury's own threat assessment unit is calling this the single greatest insider threat risk they've ever faced. We're talking Treasury Department payment information, folks. The kind of stuff that makes grown-up security experts break out in cold sweats. But hey, what's a little national security risk between friends, right? Now, here's where things get really interesting. That's billion with a B, folks. So while he's busy deciding which federal programs to axe, he might just happen to keep the ones that line his own pockets. Our boy Elon isn't just playing government dress up for fun. His companies have their fingers in about $22 billion worth of government contract pies. Convenient, isn't it? But don't worry, the White House has it all figured out. They say if there's a conflict of interest, Musk will just excuse himself. Problem solved. Oh, and get this, they want only 12 employees for all of Africa. 12! I've seen more people in line for the bathroom at a Trump rally. Needs workforce from 14,000 to fewer than 300. That's like trying to run a McDonald's with just one guy flipping burgers. But here's where it gets real, folks. Oliver's not just cracking jokes, he's dropping truth bombs. He says, people are gonna get badly hurt because of what we're doing right now. The result? At least 300 babies that would have been born HIV-free are now infected. That's not just a statistic, and he's not kidding. Thanks to Trump's funding freeze, sexual health clinics in South Africa that help women with HIV are shutting down. That's 300 real lives changed forever because Grumpy Trumpy wanted to save a few bucks. Oliver's painting a picture here, and it's not exactly a Bob Ross happy little trees situation. We're talking about real hunger, real suffering, all because Trump decided to play Scrooge with the world's poorest people. Oliver's calling them out, showing how these exaggerated or straight up false claims are being used to justify cuts that will have devastating consequences. And you know our boy Johnny's not letting Trump off the hook for spreading fake news about US aid. The White House has been throwing around claims about funding for various projects that are about as true as Trump's natural hair color. Here's the kicker, folks. Oliver puts it in perspective, saying it's like the richest person in the world taking away from the poorest. But hey, at least Trump's saving money, right? Wrong! These cuts to US aid are like trying to fix a leaky roof by selling your house. He doesn't mince words. People will die from this, like thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. That's not just a punch to the gut, that's a full-on Mike Tyson knockout. It's short-sighted, it's cruel, and it's classic Trump. He's treating the world's most vulnerable people like contestants on The Apprentice, ready to fire them at a moment's notice. Looking at you, Elon. Alright folks, buckle up because we're about to witness a magic trick that would make David Copperfield jealous. So what can we do about all this? Well, Oliver's got some ideas, and they don't involve feeding anyone into a wood chipper. You heard that right. While Trump's busy playing dictator with the budget, these so-called defenders of democracy are applauding? Watch in amazement as the entire Republican Party makes their spines disappear. Yep. Now you might think the GOP would be throwing a fit over Trump's power grab, right? Wrong. Turns out these small government folks are suddenly cool with Big Daddy Trump calling all the shots. Take Congressman Mike Johnson, for example. This guy's got a PhD in stating the obvious. He's out here saying, if they are executive branch agencies, the executive branch is in charge of them. Wow. It's like they've all decided to play a game of who can kiss Trump's butt the hardest. Thanks for the civics lesson, Mike. Next, you'll be telling us water is wet and the sky is blue. But here's the kicker. He's using this Captain Obvious statement to justify Trump basically stealing Congress's power of the purse. Senator John Kennedy, not to be outdone in the Trump cheerleading Olympics, is out here actively cheering on Trump and his new BFF Elon Musk. It's like saying, well, if it's my house, I can set it on fire if I want to. Yeah, that's not how it works, buddy. But wait, it gets better. Kennedy's got a real gem of a quote for us. He says, "You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs." Oh, John, you old rascal. I didn't realize we were talking about breakfast. My bad. John Oliver, bless his British heart, isn't letting these Republican hypocrites off easy. He's pointing out that these are the same folks who've been screaming about government overreach for years. Here I thought we were discussing the potential dismantling of crucial government agencies and the violation of the Constitution. Remember when they lost their minds over Obama wearing a tan suit? But now that Trump's consolidating power like he's trying to speed run a dictatorship, they're quieter than a mouse fart in a hurricane. As John Oliver wraps up his take breakdown of Trumpy's latest antics. He's not just gonna let us sit on our butts and do nothing. Nope. In fact, working in the public interest. So maybe instead of waiting for the Democrats to get their act together, we should be making some noise ourselves. Our British buddy's got a plan to get us off the couch and into the fight. He's telling us to pick up those phones and bug our representatives, hit the streets for some good old-fashioned protesting, or throw some cash at the organizations that are giving Trump a run for his money. This isn't just any old song, it's a resistance anthem that'll make you want to grab a protest sign and march right out your front door. The lyrics are all about sticking together and backing up the folks who are working their tails off to keep Trump's tiny hands off our rights. But wait, there's more. Just when you think it's all over, the show busts out a catchy tune that'll have you humming along while you plot the downfall of the Orange Menace. It's a musical middle finger to anyone who thinks now's the time to look the other way. So get ready to sing along and join the resistance, folks.